Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. Syrian pro-government media service Al-Masdar reported this morning that Israeli aircraft were spotted in Syrian airspace conducting strikes against a Hezbollah-bound weapons convoy. According to a Syrian army source, the attack took place near the Lebanese border near Damascus and the Kalamun Mountains. No casualties have been reported at this time. The alleged Israeli warplane supposedly flew first through Lebanon to reach the target in Syria. IDF spokespersons would not comment on the strike. Israel has, however, both stated and acted on in the past that it would not allow Hezbollah to continue receiving advanced weaponry. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah just this past Tuesday said, quote, "In the face of Israel's threats to destroy Lebanon's infrastructure, we will not abide by red lines, especially regarding Haifa's ammonia and the nuclear reactor in Dimona. Hezbollah possesses the full courage for this," end quote. Recent reports from earlier this week report the terror group leader's claims when Hezbollah had reportedly received Russian-made anti-ship missiles. The Jewish community was happy to hear that President Donald Trump condemned antisemitism yesterday. But after weeks of combative, dismissive posture from the White House, community leaders are skeptical and are now asking what specific action he plans to take to combat the growing threat. David Harris, CEO of the American Jewish Committee, said to combat a problem, you first have to define it, and the definition of this particular problem is anti-Semitism, pure and simple. Then you need a robust plan of action. Let's hope it will be forthcoming and soon. Jewish organizations are also angry of the Trump administration's guidelines on immigration and border security. Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the Anti-Defamation League, said in a statement that the new rules are extremely ill-advised and counter to our values as a nation that has always served as a beacon for hope for people around the world. A senior Israeli official in the Prime Minister's office says that United States officials thwarted efforts to reach a peace agreement by imposing conditions that Israel could not comply with. Netanyahu confirmed during a party meeting on Sunday that he did not accept a plan for a regional peace initiative presented by then U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. Netanyahu is also said to have told Kerry he would not be able to get approval for the United States' proposed framework from his right-wing coalition partners. Following the report, lawmakers from both sides of the political spectrum criticized Netanyahu either for not pursuing the chance for peace or for going down the two-state track in the first place. Opposition leader Isaac Herzog criticized Netanyahu, writing on his Twitter account that history will definitely judge the magnitude of the opportunity as well as the magnitude of what was missed. The controversial Knesset dress code, which created a stir 2 months ago after a number of female aides were denied entry to the building for wearing dresses deemed, quote, too short, will not be changed. But punishment for the inappropriate length of skirts will be. Under the new measures, staff will be given at least 2 warnings about, quote, inappropriate attire before they are prevented from entering the building. On the 3rd time, the Knesset guard will not allow them to enter. The existing dress code prohibits coming to work in, quote, inappropriate dress such as tank tops, shorts, short skirts and dresses, flip-flops, and the like. But the guidelines don't specify the appropriate length for a short dress, leaving the issue open to interpretation. The committee has now decided that only very short hemlines such as miniskirts would be defined as inappropriate. In the first ever visit of a sitting Israeli Prime Minister to Australia, and after concluding a 2-day visit to Singapore, Prime Minister Netanyahu arrived in Sydney where he was greeted by Australian Minister for International Development and the Pacific, Concetta Fierravanti-Wells. Upon his arrival, Netanyahu praised 100 years of friendship between Israel and Australia, referring to the liberation of the Israeli southern city of Beersheba from the Ottoman Empire during World War I. Commenting on Israeli-Australian relations, the Prime Minister went on to say, quote, "They are far, but they are close, and we are very happy to strengthen this closeness during this visit," end quote. Shortly before Netanyahu's arrival, Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull reaffirmed his country's support for a two-state solution to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Prime Minister Turnbull went on to state that, quote, "My government will not support one-sided resolutions criticizing Israel of the kind recently adopted by the UN Security Council, and we deplore the boycott campaigns designed to delegitimize the Jewish state," end quote. However, last week Australia's foreign minister indicated that Canberra could be open to a one-state solution if that's what both Palestinians and Israelis wanted. The Israeli premier will stay in Sydney until Sunday to meet with top government officials and senior leaders of the Jewish community before heading back to Israel. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.